Hi, I'm Kevin Wang from Power Plus. Today's topic is truck mount basic maintenance and what an operator can do or an owner-operator can do to maintain their truck mounts. And I want to start with basic stuff that can be done by operators as well. And those are going to be your daily checks. So before you start cleaning, you want to check all your fluid levels in the pump, the blower, and the engine. Sometimes it's difficult to do the blower or pump. So a cheat, and it doesn't remove your liability from a manufacturing standpoint of doing the daily checks, but you can look at those components and under them, make sure you see no oil leakage. And then if you don't, then there's a better chance that they're still full, but I would at least check those weekly. But manufacturers' warranties demand that you check them daily before you start cleaning. And the engine oil is very easy to check, so definitely check that every day. A word of advice on Vanguard motors, check it 2 or 3 times because the dipstick will lie to you. So as you pull it out, it puts oil on the collar of the dipstick tube and it'll give you false readings. So make sure you get 2 consecutive good readings on any Vanguard motor before you trust what you're looking at. And then you're going to want to check your waste tank. Make sure that on your high water float that there's no debris hanging on that can cause them not to function properly. And make sure that your filter is cleaned, that protects the blower, and that your filter bag was emptied the day before. Those tanks should be rinsed daily, and worst case, weekly. If you have an aluminum tank, I would definitely wash them daily. Stainless steel tanks don't build up as much bacteria in them, and they don't have the galvanic corrosion issues that you find on aluminum tanks. You can force them to corrode, but it's not as easy. And you then want to check your wands, make sure that your spray is clean and even, and they haven't been cleaned out with needles, which destroy the jets. And that way you'll get proper cleaning. You won't get what's called zebra striping when you clean. And on the machine itself, when you go to fire it up, you should look at all your gauges before you start it, and then right after, you should see some movement in your temperature gauge. You should see your vacuum gauge increase. It's good to keep an eye on your hour meter and make sure it's working, and that you maintain your service intervals every 50 hours. If you have a water-cooled truck mount, you can service them every 100 hours. But all other truck mounts, it's every 50. And then we strongly recommend that every other service you have done professionally. I don't care how good you are. You don't have $6 million in parts and $1 million worth of diagnostic stuff, and you don't do it all day long. So you cannot possibly catch all of the things that we're going to catch. So if downtime is a bad thing for you, and it should be disastrous. So I hope that you fight to make sure that never happens, and we certainly fight for you to make sure it doesn't by doing really thorough inspections and spending a ton of money on diagnostic equipment here to make sure that we can do a fantastic job finding things before they become an issue in the field. So let us do at minimum every other service or a professional shop, and that will, their trained eyes and tools will find things you can't. And it will save you a lot of money that you may think in your head they're expensive, whatever their charge is, $600,000, $800,000 for that service. It's cheaper than a motors, pumps, and blowers, and it's cheaper than the downtime and the frustration. It's just cheaper. It actually will cost you less. So whatever that price is, it's not as much as what it's going to cost you if you do your own service. So if you're doing all your own work, you're guaranteed to have those problems periodically. At least like once a year, you're going to have $4,000 to $7,000 breakdown that you didn't have to have. And so very few exceptions to that. On your 50-hour services, you're going to change the air filter, the pre-filter, the spark plugs, the motor oil, the blower grease, the pump oil, and your BPR, which stands for Balanced Pressure Regulator Seal Kit. And then you're going to change all the filters. Most truck mounts have 7. So you have to look for all of them, know where they're all at. So everybody knows about the 2 in the waste tank and they stop there. But there's additional filters. So you're going to find them all and clean them all and service them all. While you have them apart, make sure that no contaminants get behind or downstream from what you're servicing, because then you can cause damage to your components. So it's a real good idea to just be really careful in how you do that. After you do that, really good idea to invest in an amp meter or a voltmeter, and then check your battery voltage, then start your machine, and then make sure that your battery voltage is at least 1.5 volts higher than before the machine was running. That'll let you know that it's a basic check that'll let you know that your charging system's working. Also, you should do periodic compression checks and record that. So if you're not having it professionally serviced, you need to do this yourself. So buy a compression meter, learn how to take it accurately. Kind of like the dipstick thing. It's really easy to get bad readings, so you got to practice a bit. And then once you learn how to get good, consistent, reliable readings, you need to start logging them. And then you use that log and you refer back to it to monitor the health of your engine. Exactly like having your blood pressure checked by a doctor. So they're creating baseline of test results, and it lets them know what the trends are. And so you need that information to know what's going on inside your motor. That pretty much covers most of your basics. I can tell you that truck mounts don't have one system called oil change. That is not a service. That's one of 27 systems. So I brought an example of our check sheets, and if you're here, you can ask to see these and we'll show them to you. But we always do all the visual checks on a truck mount, and then we do running checks. And there are 27 systems in all truck mounts. And if you don't want downtime and you don't want your machine falling apart prematurely or having bad things get broken that don't need to be broken, address all 27. You can't ignore a single one of them. So if you think that servicing a machine is an oil change, then you're thinking about one and you're ignoring 26 other systems in the machine. So address them all to avoid that downtime. And I hope this information helps you guys. Please remember to like and subscribe. Tell your friends about us. And then we also do comprehensive machine inspections for people that are buying truck mounts. So if you're thinking about buying or you want to sell your truck mount and get it ready for sale, we're more than happy to help you guys do that. And again, like and subscribe. Thanks.